I love the beauty of creating this show, the way that it is being created now. And what I mean by that is I spent a lot of time before in pre-planning and pre-setting up and what am I going to talk about and how is this going to go? And then my life shifted. My life shifted into a oh my gosh, I hit a wall. I hit a wall of despondency and depression, and that was, last year, in about March when my life changed and spirit's like, "Okay, here you go, Nance. Life is going to be different." And I mean, I'm smiling about this now. I wasn't smiling then. The universe gave me an opportunity to heal. Hmm. So, what a great spot to start our conversation because when you began your experience in healing, you didn't begin your experience in healing because life was wonderful, did you, Kelly?
No, that's kind of how my life goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
no,
so when you began your experience in healing, because you just told me this when I came
yeah.
to you for the experience of healing with Kelly Wolf, you told me about your experience going to Peru.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah.
let's tell everyone who's watching.
Yes, yes. So I had a a botched low back surgery, and I came out of the surgery pretty much handicapped. I had no autonomic system, I had no function control, I had very little use of my right leg. I had nerve pain that just, oh, that was just profound. And the docs told me I'd never get better. They told me after a year where my leg was where it was going to be. And they told me I was very likely not getting out of diapers. And I knew they were wrong. I just knew it. I just knew it with everything in me. Previous to that, with my former job, I always healed quite well. I had a
What
physical
was your
job.
former job? What was your former
Uh,
job?
I was a professional skydiver, so I was a free fall instructor and a videographer for many years. Yeah,
Yeah.
30 years.
You have an exponentially extraordinary life. And I'm focusing on that because quite often I forget to focus on my extraordinary life as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? So skydiver to cripple
Mm-hmm.
to healed,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It
So
it
where
was
did
the
you go to? What levels did you take? Like, what did you do to get to better?
journey. So I at first I was never much of a medicine taker. Hardly ever went to the doc up to that point. I was in my 40s, but I was always really fit and healthy. And so I ended up it's so interesting. I ended up one day just throwing all my meds away. Something just told me these are killing you. I was on medications, it's like 14 different meds because I was full of infections for about 4 months, and I knew they were making me worse. So I threw them all away, and I ended up just starting in the holistic side of things. I had a couple friends who were Reiki masters, and my God, I was really amazed at how well Reiki worked, especially for my pain. I was getting acupuncture from a friend of mine, and that really helped with my function control. And reflexology was really amazing as well. So those are the three that I initially did.
So
Um,
they were providing relief.
Yes, relief.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
the nerve pain was, I mean, the function control and the nerve pain were the two things that were really, really tough to live with. I mean, I was still housebound. I couldn't go anywhere. And so I got on these forums for nerve healing, and somebody mentioned something about ayahuasca, and I had no idea what it was. So I did some research, read some books, and then when I saved some money. I was back at work, but just part time. Saved some money, and then when I had enough money saved and
Wait,
thought,
you were still videographying and
I,
diving.
I was in diapers.
Oh my gosh, you know what? Again, I'm gonna pause because this is the warrior's journey in healing. And I've got goosebumps because we're both warriors in healing. And I'm not one to toot my own horn, pat myself on the back, and I am often reminded. I have a very dear friend, client friend, who reminds me, Nancy, you have recovered from the loss of a child, extraordinary abuse. Have you read your own book? She says to me. And I'm like, well, she's like, just look at the chapter titles once in a while to remind yourself. And I'm
Mm,
like, oh yeah, shut your toilet. That was a pretty powerful chapter. Right? The warrior. Our
yeah.
life, we have gone through more trauma than the average human.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So the
Yeah. 100%.
healing journey that brought you to be such an incredible healer, you know, it just makes me wow.
And the journey is right. It's all about the journey, right? There is never an end to it, right? But yeah, so I went to Peru. It was a really profound experience there, and I came back out of diapers, which I did not expect. I had a lot less nerve pain, but I still had some healing to do at that point, especially on an emotional level. So yeah, so then the journey continued. But that's what really kind of was my inspiration to get into alternative therapies. And I started with Reiki, and then I went to sound therapy. And both of those, because I've always been a clairvoyant, and but kind of I was in the closet for many years. And so both of those really kind of gave me like a permission slip to open up,
I
especially.
love that. Clairvoyant in the closet. I know so many. I know so many clairvoyants, mediums, and psychics who were once in the closet because we question that. Like no one else is hearing them. No one else is seeing them. No one else is. I'm not a seer. I'm a feeler. Um, and that's really weird. Like that's really weird. And I'm becoming more of a feeler. So when I was blessed to have the session with you, and you provided the bridge for Emily to come through, and you asked me what that was like, and I mean, I felt her kiss me.
Mm,
I felt my daughter, my dead daughter,
mm,
kiss me. And it wasn't
mm,
like she kissed me when she was alive. It was
mm,
so much more. Like it wasn't erotic. It wasn't it wasn't mother to daughter. It was soul to soul.
mm.
Oh,
It's so
and
beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And when I came to visit you this last time, I didn't come to you and say, like, oh, hey, if you wouldn't mind hooking me up with a kiss from my dead daughter. I came to you because I was struggling with overthinking, my sleep, there was some pain in my shoulder. I'm going on vacation. Can you help set me up for success?
Mhm.
And it's the beauty of God, universe, source, and spirit. They know what we need.
100%. 100%. Yep. They always do.
Yeah.
Your higher self too. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
learning a lot about my higher self. I took the email that you had sent out in regards to a 1 year is the moment the universe exhales and whispers begin.
Mhm.
That's what this
Yep.
year is.
Yep.
And there's so much in there. The moment the universe exhales and
Yeah.
whispers begin. I've been talking to a lot of people recently about the burden of being alive right now and how when we think of what it is that we are struggling with on an individual level, how heavy that burden can feel. And when we think of what it would be like to not have that in our lives anymore, I personally and people that I've spoken with kind of go,
Mm,
so that exhale, what would
mm.
life be like if we were able to release some of the burden and live in ease? Wouldn't life be better if it was just easier? And this is the year that we get to begin that in an extraordinary way.
Yeah, yeah, and then, like you said, extraordinary because it's the year of the horse. So it's about moving forward in a bold way, without fear, right? Moving forward with courage and
Yeah.
power, right? Like finding your power,
Well,
100%. Because we are
and
all,
when it is, it's 100% that, and when we're vacillating, because I know me, when I got the I and the we is very, very important for me. When I am vacillating between hero and victim, victim and hero, victim and hero, victim and hero, right? Like I'm like, okay, I got this. I'm on my horse, and then all of a sudden I'm like, woof, on my ass on the
mm,
ground. And I'm like, this isn't fair. I don't want this anymore. I seek out help from healers.
mm,
And I really began doing that much more consciously last year, literally with horses, when I was with Michelle from Infinity Trails, and then you. Um, Yes, because I did see you at the end of last year, and then coming back to see you again before I go away on my vacation, because we've developed an intimate relationship as friends, as well as you being a conduit for the healing. Such a beautiful place. So when we're in a state of victimhood and we are in our pain, in our stress, in our circumstances, and the shame kicks in and the doubt kicks in and the worry and the anxiety, all of that feeds into the physical body,
mm.
the emotional body, and disconnects us from spirit. So when you work with people, I know when you work with me, you check my pulse, you have me stick out my tongue. Wow, tell me about that.
Well, that's for, well, every acupuncturist does that, right? So your pulse is what's going on right now in the moment, because pulses can change quite quickly from the beginning of a session to the end of a session. And then the tongue, when you look at the tongue, you're looking at the coating, you're looking at the color, you're looking at the shape. You're looking at certain areas that represent the human body, and so you're basically that's your root health. And so, you know tongues can change. If you do radical health changes, it can change in a month. If you do or if you're taking supplements, your tongue can change to something more positive, maybe in 4 to 6 months, right? So that's your root
Wow.
health when you look at the tongue. Yeah.
And it's an indicator of where a person is less than
Yeah.
optimal.
Yeah, and I don't like to like diagnose people. People, I'll look at their tongue and they'll say, "What's wrong with me?" And I say, "Nothing. This is what you need. It's just what your body needs." And
Yeah.
there's
Well, the
there
tongue
in
can be
beyond.
quite a frightening
Yeah, I
um
know. I look at my own tongue.
aspect of ourselves to look at, right? You stick out your tongue, you're like, oh my God, I think I'm gonna die. And it's a tongue, it's an indicator. And I mean, I've had some times where I've had my tongue looked at where I'm like, okay, seriously, there is something wrong with me. And it's like, oh, that looks like your spleen. Or, how is your digestion? And I love that when I go to someone who is able to help me understand my body, because my body is my vehicle. And it shows the physical. Now, how is it that you are able to see the emotional? Because you see the emotional as well.
Yeah. So I can see colors around people. That's their soul signature. Colors can change, but usually they hold the same one or two colors. Although I've been seeing tons of color changes, like radical ones, beautiful ones, since COVID, oddly
Mhm,
enough, right? So I
mhm.
knew when I was seeing that, I knew that this was a shift that the planet was collectively all experiencing. Yeah, a good shift, a positive shift, as hard as that time was. But
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's hard to describe how I see. So the way I work is I'm not like the Long Island medium who sees dead people, right? I mean I can see that, but I just see what's in the here and now because everything is in the here and now. So it's a frequency match. When I'm diving into the color, so color, light, and sound are all the same thing. They're a frequency that holds information. So I dive into the color and I can see things inside the color. Either, I mean, oh God, it varies. Maybe I see a soul family in there, or I see maybe a star lineage from some, maybe a star seed. I can see their soul family. I can't always tell you exactly what the race is because there's a limitless amount of races out there, right? And I can,
We've discovered that together. You've
yeah.
helped me understand that because the time before I saw you last, it was orange, and the my guides, my galactic guides, very important difference. My galactic guides were orange, and we couldn't you couldn't come up with a name for them. I couldn't come up for a name with them, and then in asking them what their name was, they telepathically told me to say, "Hey, you." So I'm like, "Okay." Um, so
They are pretty funny, most of
for the next
them.
4
Yeah.
to 6 weeks, I just kept on saying, "Hey, you," which was really funny because when I met Ralph, that's how we connected through dating apps, was "Hey, you." So it was really strange for me to do this. And then the last time I came to see you, you described them as a midnight blue. So now I'm like, "Hey, blue." Like, it is just so
I know.
bizarre, and it is the stretch. It's a
You know,
stretch for me. I'm just like, "Okay, hey, blue," and it's working.
one thing I do know from these, because it's a collective, right? They are a collective. So they're very high density. And so a lot of those collectives don't go by names, right? They go by frequency.
Like the 3
So,
guides of the light, the
yeah,
3 guides of
yeah.
the light that Jeanette talks about. Daphne and I are recording with Jeanette this week. I'm
Hmm.
excited. And I have no idea what we're gonna talk about. Um, and one thing that I've learned is that the collective is evolving all the time as well. That blows my
Yeah,
mind.
yeah,
You mean they're not
yeah.
perfect?
Right? They're
Right?
evolving just like we are, right? But I
Yeah.
mean, collectives, usually once you get to the collectives, they're probably either partially non-physical or fully non-physical. And so when they show up, sometimes they just choose how they want to be seen. But that being said, like we live in the third dimension and we're very physical. So we define things in physical terms, right? That's our language. That's the language of our third dimension, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why quite often, people, what are their names? Are you getting a name? And it's so rare if I get a name. I think I've only had names a handful of times in all these years
Wow.
of doing this. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what I know. Am I right? I don't know. This is just the information that comes through.
Well,
But it
but you know what, Kelly, honey? I mean, right? Prove me wrong. Prove me. That's a very third
yeah.
not third eye, wrong one. They're like, stop that. It's not your third eye. Third 3D. Um, they show me images in my mind, so it's like watching a movie really, really fast. That's a
Mm.
very 3D expression. We don't
Right.
have the words to describe any more than I have the words to describe what it feels like when I connect with my daughter.
Hmm.
There are no
100%.
words to describe it. It's a
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
And the feeling of connecting with her now is so much more than when she was alive. And I mean, I miss her physical presence
Oh
often,
yeah.
especially
Yeah.
during times like Christmas. Like Christmas sucks balls in my world,
Yeah.
and it's not Merry Christmas balls hanging from a tree. We're talking sweaty, gross, yucky balls. And again, that I came to see you before Christmas for a reason. I
Hmm.
knew I was setting
Hmm.
myself up for success. I was starting to feel myself going down. And as soon as I start to feel myself going down, I'm like, well, have I booked a session yet with someone? Because I mean, I have many people that I go to.
Mm.
I'm learning to love myself in a way that I never did before, and there is a beauty with this year. So jumping back to your email, because I used your email in Chat GPT. Oh, yes, I did. So together we explore how this year emerges from the void of completion, igniting personal will, soul remembrance, and embodied intention. This is a year of first breaths, first courage, and first visions, not loud or performative, but quietly potent. So when someone is struggling, and they're showing me that this absolute person in my life, oh, love her, love her, love her, love her. Why am I always doing this? Why is this always triggering me? Why? Radical change is often required. And radical change, we don't have to go to Peru and do ayahuasca for 10 days.
Hmm.
We can try something that we've never tried before in supportive healing. You called it alternative, I call it supportive, because to me, it's
Mm.
not either or. I will go
Hmm.
to the doctor. If I fall down and wipe out walking from, there were years ago where I fell out of the shower and I cut my chin. And I mean, it was a big gash. I had to go get stitches. It was nasty. I would not go to see you for stitches.
No, definitely not.
You'd be like, "Oh my god, go to the hospital," right? So, I use both as required. I'm not gonna go to my family doctor and say, "I'm feeling blue. I'm struggling with sleep. I am," because like you, I chose to remove anything that was causing me, contraindications, side effects. That wasn't sitting right in my body. Last November, when I went to see Michelle, I was working to remove THC from my system. And that was a personal choice.
Hmm.
So when we're looking at this year being a year of firsts, um, the opportunity to try something new is beautiful and exciting and frightening when it's
Yes.
something you haven't tried before.
And I heard that you signed up for Sananga and Hefe ceremony.
Yeah, I did. I did. I signed up for I can't even say it. Sananga,
Sananga. Yeah.
and you said Hepe, and I'm like, wait, isn't it called Rape?
Or Rafe
So
or
yeah, so
Hefe or
plant
Rafe.
medicine. Plant
Yeah.
medicine, and I am exponentially excited. And I'm nervous. I mean, we're talking about having drops put in my eyes and tobacco blown up my nose. This isn't normal. I've never done it before, so it's new. And yes,
Yeah.
it is potent medicine. And
Yeah.
I'm looking for a big change in my life. So I'm adding more and more and more. I'm
Hmm.
I'm upscaling.
Mm. And you read that beautiful book about mind loops by
Yes.
Barbara Ireland. What a great book. Huh?
Great
Uh-huh.
strategies, great strategies. And I'm finding that the strategies aren't enough for me. I need something more. I need
Yeah.
something more because I'm okay. I'm detaching. I'm detaching. Okay, good. First of all, I identify what the mind loop is, and then I detach and I destory but there are some thought patterns in my life that are stronger than me. So
Hmm.
because the thought pattern is stronger than me, and I know it's the thought pattern, I've really begun to focus on the feeling first. And I'm like, okay, what feeling is this? And I'm like, okay, I've got that. And then I ask spirit to work with me. And I'm like, okay, so within this feeling, what's the thought pattern? I'm like, okay, whoa, 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 shit, got that. I'm seeing it. So now I know the next step for me is clear vision.
Hmm.
Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
powerful.
I think I had a profound experience. I think when I did mine, I think you will absolutely love it. Yeah. And
Yes.
Carolina is lovely. Yeah.
Well, and that's the beauty of it. All of the work that I have done in my life, changing my thoughts, consciously changing my thoughts. Okay. And what I mean by that is, so for example, if I stub my toe, I don't go into, oh my God, my toe hurts, fall down on the floor, grab my foot, and scream in pain, even if it hurts like a mofo. Okay. I am feeling discomfort in my toe, extraordinary discomfort. And I mean, that's working with years of Louise Hay's mantras in my mind. Louise Hay, um, Dyer, Wayne Dyer,
Mhm.
Abraham Hicks. And I mean, I'm working, 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 working so that I'm able to digest the discomfort easier. I
Yeah.
didn't easier. It's a
Yeah.
challenge. It's still a challenge. I mean, I've
It
come to
always
you I've come to you when I'm struggling emotionally to a point where it's like, "You know what, Kelly? I don't wanna do this anymore."
is. Hmm. Yeah. We're always going to have those moments. It's life in the third dimension, right? But it's just how we bounce out of it, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how we bounce. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
How we bounce out of it and who we go to that is able to help us along the way. And
Hmm.
like there is such a beauty in the experience of working with you. And I know that from others that have worked with you that are my friends. I'm not the only one. There are others. So you also wrote, we also dive into why the body must be included in new beginnings, especially in January, in a year where manifestation accelerates, consciousness itself becomes the primary tool, and the body is the anchor. Wow.
It is. Physicality is our language, right? Yeah. Yeah.
We
As much.
often feel
Yeah.
in our physical body. Okay,
Yeah.
so physicality, yes. Do people come to you with emotional concerns, physical concerns? Or I
No.
guess it's a bit of a casserole, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you can't. The emotional and the physical are tied into one, right? So you can't have a physical issue without an emotional root as well, right? So you everything has both emotional and physical roots. So yeah, yes, I do. People come to see me for that. Absolutely. Hmm.
So
Yeah.
people will lay on your table like me and be like, emotionally, these are all my problems. And I mean, I'm only laughing because I literally did that in November. Like when I came, no, December, when I came and saw you, I'm like, I am struggling with overwhelm and this, and I mean, and I'm like, can you make that better? And you're like, well, let's go in and see what happens. And
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. But it's always the person on the table who does the healing, and they don't even realize it, right? I just
Mm.
set up kind of the set and setting, but sound is amazing for the emotional side of things, right? I mean, it bypasses the mind. It goes into the nervous system, the chakras, the energetic body. I mean, it has its own consciousness, right? It knows where to go and what to do. It
That
understands your soul signature. It's a plant medicine, basically, in my
sound
opinion.
has its own consciousness? What do you mean?
Yes, it does. It's really hard to describe. So when I teach my sound healing courses, I always tell them, the sound will never betray you because I teach planetary forks, tuning forks. And, people are like, well, I don't know what to choose. Just use your intuition. Of course, I do have certain forks that are good for certain issues, right? Whether it's emotional or physical or both. But if they're getting a little overwhelmed, I just tell them just choose a fork. It'll know where to go. It'll know what to do. It
Wow.
it just it has sound has its own consciousness. It knows your intention. It knows the intention of the person on the table, right?
So
And
beautiful.
whatever they receive is up to them. But I mean, sound just put what I believe is sound. If everything exists in the here and now, right, and time is all happening at once, everything is only separated by frequency. So the sound opens that up. So what I would say is it opened up a door for your daughter to come in, right?
Mhm.
Because it
Yes.
was during the
Yes.
sound bath that you had that
It was during
experience.
the sound bath. It was during the
Yeah.
sound bath that, I was c connected to Emily Moore, and then when you offered me the opportunity, "Is there anything that you wanna ask?"
Mm,
And I asked, how she could help support my mom, and her OMA, I love the beauty of that, the
mm.
answer that she gave. She's like, "Well, just ask." And then I grappled with that, um, because the first thought was, "Oh, yeah, just ask my dead daughter to be with my mom when I'm not there."
Mhm.
3D. I went straight into 3D,
Yeah.
and then I worked with my visualization. Okay, what would it be like if Emily was there? And I started seeing images of like the footprints in the sand. I am carrying you when you can't see me. And I started to see the beauty of that. So I started to go there, to be in that space, to be in that, what would it be like if everything was wonderful, which is a big challenge for me. I'm working
Mhm.
it. I'm working it. I'm working it. I'm working it because my mind has been trained through trauma and my response to trauma to be like, okay, if this bad thing happens and this bad things happens and this bad things happens, how can I course correct it before it happens?
Mhm.
So now I am consciously being okay. Best case scenario, best case scenario.
Mm.
How wonderful can it get?
Yes.
So it's it's work. It's work.
It's a challenge. Well, it's
It
the
is.
unlearning, right? It's all that unlearning we're doing now because when we were kids, we watched that shoe drop all the time, right? With our
Yeah.
parents, right? And then as we got older, the shoe dropped for us. So it's like we're always waiting for that shoe to drop. And that's where that unworthiness comes in. We don't deserve to be happy because that shoe is going to drop. We don't deserve to be happy, right? Yeah, but we
Well,
do. And
and like
we
you
should
said,
teach. Yeah.
the child, Kelly, did you let your shoe drop again? You need
Yeah.
to be more careful. Kelly,
Yeah. Mm.
Nancy, and my mom, I love my mom so much. We've got such an interesting relationship as she is closer to the veil. I love how I can have that conversation with you. My mom, so often people will say to me, "Does your mom have dementia or Alzheimer's?" And I'm like, "My mom is closer to the veil. My mom's
I love
remembering has shifted
Yeah.
as she's aging. So
Mhm.
some people, when I say close to the veil, get it, and other people are like, huh? Oh, you're one of those people. You're one of those. And I'm like, I am. I'm a card carrying member of the, I know what it's like on the other side. So I can't have that conversation with the majority.
Mhm.
And I am blessed to be able to have that conversation with the minority. And
Mm.
the minority and the majority are becoming a um the rock bed is increasing is the way that spirit's showing me. So there's a shift between people who have experienced the 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D. So there are more people that are in that in between place
Mm.
that have an understanding of what it feels like. And this year is that opportunity, that nudge to move closer to connecting with spirit in whatever way it is for you.
Mhm. Yes, how it is for that person, whatever they're drawn to. Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and then that's where the healing from the hurt, the mystical beginning is.
Mhm.
We've all been hurt, all of us. It's not a I win, I got more trauma than you, or
Mhm.
that's not how it is because every one of us has experienced trauma.
Mhm.
It's how able we were to identify it and deal with it in the moment that it happened, or how much trauma we signed up for in this lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah.
I signed up
Those.
for a shit ton, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when you can own what's happened to you in the past, and you can own, what's happening now in your life, then you can change it, because we create our reality every moment at a time. And if we taught kids that, if we taught them how to meditate, how to quiet their mind, right? How to just be aware of what's showing up. What is that reflection, right? I mean, kids can handle that information. If we could teach that,
Absolutely.
we would have a
Absolutely.
whole new, amazing, evolved, uh, you
Absolutely.
know,
Spirit's tapping on my shoulder very strongly about this, the power of seven. So, the power of seven being how when we work on ourselves and heal our vibrational set point,
mm,
that we are able to influence seven generations before us,
yep,
like into my past lineage, and seven
mhm,
generations forward into my future lineage. So for
yeah,
me, when I work on myself, I am helping. I call it helping. Those who want to argue with me can argue all you want. I am helping my own children. I am helping my grandchildren. I am helping my grandmother. I am helping my mother. I am helping expand the vibration of our family and my familia. Like my daughter-in-law, my son's wife, my everybody. So that gives me a tremendous amount of A, responsibility, and B,
hmm,
courage. So that
yes,
helps me when I'm looking at, I was talking with a friend about the Sananga. Am I saying that right?
Sananga.
Sananga, the eye drop. And he'd experienced it. He's like, "Oh, you mean the jalapeno drops?" And I'm like, "What did you say?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, the drops that will create a tremendous amount of potency." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And I love my children so very, very much that I am willing to experience this
Mm-hmm.
discomfort because I know I'm helping all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a privilege.
And you're also helping those who have passed as well.
Yes.
Um, I
Yes.
had a reading myself from
Yeah.
a really talented medium, and she told me my parents came in and they thanked me for doing all the generational work and the work on myself and shifting myself. I mean, that's a constant journey, right? but
Yep.
because they said it helped them, and they're on the other side now. And I was like, oh, I had no idea. I assumed they were
Wow.
with spirits, so they're just perfect, and didn't matter. So
I
yeah, but
know.
it can go
I
from my
know.
experience with generational work, from my experience, and just working on yourself, it can go back 30, 40, 50, 60 generations.
Isn't
But
that
what it can
beautiful?
also do is it can
So beautiful.
also change timelines from past lives as well, where you had a lot of trauma. So it's like, yeah. And so, really, literally, all you have to do is meditate, just be in the moment, just quiet the mind, however you do that, whatever works for you, just quiet your mind.
Well,
Yeah,
and
it's
I have over the last year, um, no, well, exponentially gradually. So over the last year, I have gradually improved a lot. So for example, hot flashes have reduced so much.
that's a good thing.
My mind, um, like snowballing to a point where it's like free skiing, like I mean, like when we're both here in Canada where snow is prevalent right now, way too much damn snow. Where like when you're going down a mountain and your skis go loose and you're like, everybody look out. My mind going that way. If I were to explain it in diving, it would be like um, free diving, where you're like, oh my god, I can't stop myself from going down. My ears are like and it's an extraordinary. It's so much pain when we are
Hmm.
struck in anxiety or depression, and
Hmm.
I have. I'm better again. I'm better again, and when I think of diving, I love to dive. Not sky, water.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's where that water, where you're floating above the water and you've got your BCD just enough,
Hmm.
and you're floating and you can see
Hmm.
the horizon and you know that there's a beauty underneath and you're more than willing to go down because you
Hmm.
know that once you're there, the experience is amazing. And that's how
Yeah.
I am looking at the opportunities for healing. I know this is going to be amazing. Yes, there may be some fear. Yes, there may be some discomfort. And I know it's going to create radical, wonderful change,
Yeah. Yeah.
small bits at a time.
Yeah, when we resist, it persists. That's that how we create our own reality, right?
Mhm.
So it's that friction. We're causing more friction. Instead, quiet your mind, step outside and say, why is this showing up? I had a falling out with somebody that I used to collaborate with a couple of years ago. And at first, I was very angry about what happened, and I was complaining about her and talking bad about her. And then I would just say, "Oh, Kelly, what are you doing? Like, this isn't you, right? I mean, when you speak bad about somebody else, you're just hurting yourself." and
Absolutely.
and making your friends very uncomfortable, which I realized as well. And then I decided to finally like step outside and see, why did this show up in my reality? And man, one more lesson in loving myself, right? If you feel like you are worthless, somebody is going to show up in your reality who will remind you of that, right? And
Yes.
so I owned it. I owned it, and then over a very short period of time, I was able to kind of let all those emotions go, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'll collaborate with her again, but I appreciate the lesson that I got from it. So,
Change
yeah,
me, love you. Change
yeah,
me, love you.
yeah,
And
yeah,
when we are struggling with someone in our life, a character, it's much nicer to say a character in our story than get pulled into the drama of that person. That can be spirit showed me a succubus.
yeah.
Is that, do you know, right? Do
Yeah.
you see that? The,
Well,
the,
a
the
succubus is
succubus,
actually it's a
the,
sexual demon, a succubus. So
okay,
I don't
that's
know
what
if
they
that's
showed me. So someone,
yeah.
a
I
vampire,
mean,
I know
Yeah.
a vampire, but let's call them a
Yeah.
vampire. Someone that sucks the oh, I love this. My grandmother is coming through. Someone that sucks the Lord thunder and life out of you. My grandmother was from Newfoundland. So someone like they just suck all the that you can like you can be in the most wonderful place in your life, and then you get a phone call or you have an experience and you're like, oh my God, I went from feeling fabulous to
Mm.
and they are a character in your story that is helping you understand where it's all about you. And hey,
It
trust
is.
me, I still work with this too. I still
Yeah.
work with this.
Yeah.
Change me. How can I work on myself? And I think that for anyone out there who's listening who has worked through or is working through codependency, caring about
Mm.
others more than you care about yourself,
Yes.
that's a big lesson, a big challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, for 20 years, 20 Kelly, I took care of others more than I took care of myself. And then Emily died.
Mm.
And then I spent another 10, 11, 12. I'm on the 13, I think. I count less and I live more year of, okay, I can prioritize my health without feeling guilty.
Yes. Oh, guilt is the lowest frequency emotion there is. And I love how you define codependency, loving somebody else more than yourself. Boy, and yeah, because in our reality, like it's only us. We bring in the versions of everybody that comes in. And so when you can own what's coming into you, right?
Yep.
Then you can change it if you feel like you need to change it, or you become very empowered when you
So empowered. So terribly empowered. Not terribly.
oh,
While
there
while
you
Kelly
go.
is disconnected and
I'm not
reconnecting.
seeing you, but I hear you.
Oh, darn
I know.
it. I can hear you and you're a blank
I
screen. I love that. Let's just flow with
It's
it.
funny. I can hear you and you're a blank screen, but we'll just flow with it. Yeah.
We'll just flow with it. That's how
Okay.
I mean, this is hilarious. I'm totally I'm like spirit she be funny. What happens so often is we are trained. A good mother takes care of her children and puts them as a priority. Yes, a loving, caring, nurturing mother feeds her child. That is correct. And if a mother who is feeding her child through breastfeeding is not feeding herself, there is no source.
Hmm. Yeah.
We need to feed ourselves so that we can carry food to another. That's pretty
Yeah.
logical, isn't it?
Yes.
Until we're told otherwise over and over and over and over and over. And when you are in a relationship with someone that's narcissistic, they tell you that you are being selfish.
Hmm.
I was told that.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, a very good friend of mine, her marriage is just ending now. 27 years. She has a handicapped daughter. She's got two kids. One of them is handicapped. And, you know, what I always notice with her, she's such a lovely soul, but she cares for everyone else but herself, right?
Mm,
So now this is her opportunity, right, to care for herself.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's a challenge. I remember um after Emily passed away and Jarrett had recovered from had begun to recover physically from the accident. Jarrett's patella was smashed. His shoulder was torn and ripped open. There's shrapnel in his shoulder. That's the way the doctor actually described it. And his spine was twisted. Um, it became my challenge to all you have to do is take care of yourself. And I remember on my knees sobbing. You don't understand. I don't know how. I, I,
Mm,
I, I did not know how to take care of myself. I knew how to take care of everybody else. So I began to allow others to care for me in the slightest, smallest ways. I joined a gym, and I started training with a personal trainer. I started taking yoga classes. I started, they were small, huge changes. And then
mm-hmm,
my first healing experience was with someone who did Reiki as well, and I didn't know what Reiki was.
mm.
I had no idea. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So I have huge compassion and empathy for anyone out there who has not taken that leap of faith.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it can be a challenge, and it's so wonderful on the other side. It's so wonderful. So you were telling me we've only got 10 minutes left about another lovely lady that I can visit who has a farm.
Yes, so her name is Kristen Domasley, and her farm is called the Sacred Woods, and it's in Sherwood Park. It's east of Highway 21, and what a magical place. I mean, in winter, I think she doesn't do a lot in winter. It's more in spring, summer, fall,
Yeah.
before, of course, before the snow flies. But she has a beautiful dome, and I do sound baths with readings out there once a month.
Oh,
And the dome is, I swear, this dome, this place is a portal, not just the dome, but the land. The land, when she bought it, it was the previous owners did all this paperwork to get it protected, so it's never been farmed. So it's
oh my
pristine
goodness.
land. Yeah, that's rare to see.
Wow.
It is so beautiful out there. You just feel it as soon as you drive up.
Oh,
Kristen has she's rescued a bunch of animals that she are now therapy animals. She has all of her training as, doing animal therapy. Also Reiki. She also teaches Reiki. She's amazing at Reiki.
wow.
But she has Belgians, these two beautiful Belgian horses, big, big, beautiful Belgians. They are, I can't even describe how you feel around them. You can
And you
feel
said
their heart.
goats? And you said
She's
goats
got
and
she's got
chickens?
three of the most polite goats. She has no, a rooster. She doesn't have chickens. She's
Rooster.
got a rooster that was hand raised,
Oh
and
gosh.
he is hilarious. She has a beautiful farm dog, and him and the rooster and the farm dog are best friends. They play fight all the time. It is the funniest thing to watch. But the rooster is such a lover. He
Ah,
loves to sit on your lap. He loves to be held. And So all the animals are involved during the therapy, which is so cool. She's got
that really
pot-bellied
is.
pigs. She's got regular sized pigs, a few of those. She has another horse, and then she also has a mini, and she has ducks. The place is just magic. It's like every adult and kid's fantasy when you go there, because you can just go and just, you know, be with the animals. You can play with them, touch them. They're so friendly. It
Ah,
is such a profoundly beautiful experience there. And when I do the sound bath, she has it, so she books it half an hour early so people show up early so they can experience the animals before, and then we go in and we do the sound bath and readings, and the animals know as soon as I'm done, they all gather. It's so funny. It's like they know, and everybody leaves, and they can all hang out with the animals again. So
oh,
that's, when I do the sound bath. But she has a lot of formal, really beautiful, um, uh, all kinds of options you can choose from at her place. Yeah, so
so
definitely a
special.
place that you should definitely hit up once we get rid of all the snow.
Well, and I think that is one of the most exciting parts of this adventure, and I'm focusing on the excitement of the adventure. I know that within the excitement of the adventure in healing, there are challenges along the way, and I keep on soldiering forward. Okay, I know the next part of my life is going to be a challenge. There will be challenges in the next quarter. I've learned to digest life in quarters. It's easier to take a year at a time. In 3 months, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And that I know that there will be many opportunities in healing that I get to share here as a healing guide. I experience, I share, I experience, I share, and I meet wonderful people, and they're my guests along the way. So I am so excited for the next time that I have you on my show. I do not know when that will be, and yet we will plan. Um, and away we go.
I would
Thanks,
actually
Kelly.
love to talk about animal communication next time. The
Yes,
animals
please.
have a lot to say, and it is
Yes,
amazing how much
please.
they know. They
Oh,
are incredible. Yeah.
yes,
So
please.
they will
That
teach us
sounds
so much.
That
Yeah.
sounds so special. I know I have 3 beautiful animal communicators in my life. I have you, I have Daphne McDonough, and then I have Michelle Keane.
Mm,
And it's beautiful because you all have a different way of explaining how it is you communicate because it's all different. It's just yeah, the healing journey is an extraordinary experience. It
yeah.
really is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really
It
is.
is profoundly beautiful and challenging.
And challenging, and challenging.
Yeah.
It's like the you know what? Life is a roller coaster, and you don't get off.
Nope.
It just keeps on going round and round, and it's how you experience that roller coaster. This is from a roller coaster challenged person. When Ralph and I went to Vegas years ago, I rode the roller coaster at hotel. I think it's New York, New York. I can't remember. And I rode it with my eyes covered, my head down, and I screamed all the way. So I at the end when they offered the picture, I declined because I wasn't going to pay for a picture of
That would
myself,
look hilarious.
right? And that was over 10 years ago. So I am now more able to um, live with courage. And it was interesting. After I described that, I immediately swallowed and I felt it right in my gut.
Hmm.
It When we can connect to our body and understand what our body is telling us, the body language, oh, it helps.
Right?
It
Yes.
helps
Oh my God. So much.
so much.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Mwah.
my friend.
Blessed and grateful. I cherish our friendship.
Oh, me as well. Thank you so much, Nancy, for having me on today. I really
You are
appreciate you.
very, very welcome. So, Kelly Wolf Wellness, check it out. She's amazing.